Come on, Bella. 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 Come on, girl. Come, come, come. Come on, girlie. Come on, come. Come on, sweetheart. Bella, Bella, Bella. Bella, Bella, Bella. Come, 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 come. Let me zoom out a little more. Come on, Bella. Hey. Bella, Bella. Bella, 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 Bella. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 Bella. Bella, Bella, Bella. Bella, Bella, Bella. Right here, sweetheart. Come, 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 come. Wrong direction. Wrong direction. Come here. Come. 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 You could do it. You could do it. Come. 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 Come on. Hey, there you go. You're going the right direction. Come. Come. Come on, silly. Come on. Come. Come. Come, come, come. Bella, Bella, Bella. Nope, wrong direction. Wrong direction. Come, 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 come. Hey, there you go. Wrong direction again. Bella, 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 Bella. Come, 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 come. Almost there, almost there. Hey, hey, hey. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl, Bella. Okay. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can see, I have Miss Bella here, okay? And there's my buddy Luke. And we are working with Miss Bella this morning, or today, and amongst some other dogs. And what we're working on is, number one, is keep Bella in control. Okay, remember everybody? We always talk about keeping the dog in control, right? Okay, and we've got to teach the dog what the command looks like, right? What the command looks like. So when we say the command, we got to show them what that looks like, and then once they do it, they praise them, okay? So what I'm doing today with Bella is I'm using this dummy for her reward. So when she does what she wants, or when she does what I want her to do, she'll get this as a reward, okay? Now, I want to show you guys, Bella is 13 weeks old, okay? And this exercise is probably a little beyond her, it's pushing it as far as trying to get her to do a long distance come. But here's the thing, because I have a check cord on her, okay, because I got the check cord on her, I can back up my commands. Come, 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 come. Good girl, good girl. So I use the bumper, okay, some people call these bumpers, some call dummies, out. There we go. I can send her away from me, so she goes and gets the dummy, and then I can say, come, 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 and then she knows what it looks like, okay? So then I could put the command with that, okay? Then, like you just seen at the beginning of the video, what we try to do is get her at a distance, okay? And to come to me, all right? Well, I'm not gonna be able to do it for some reason. She wants to stay right beside me. But as you see in the very beginning of the video, what I'm doing is putting pressure on her, okay? As you can see me kind of tug, good girl, Bella. As you can see me tug just a little bit pressure on her collar to get her used to feeling that pressure. So as I gently say come, I apply the pressure on her neck. It's just a nylon collar, as you can see, okay? Because we have not even, I put a prong collar on her neck already, but I have not done any type of prong collar work, because you got to be very careful when you're dealing with prong collars, okay? You can send a false message to the dog, and then they can if they're too young, they can understand it as something negative versus something positive. So you could put it on them, let them walk around with it a little bit here and there, then eventually hook the leash to that, and maybe down the road I can show you guys what that looks like, and then kind of build from that by doing what we're doing here. Okay, so you get them stuck on a longer leash here, like we're doing today, and then you get them. What I'm trying to do is basically build off of natural occurrences, okay? So if I can get the more, Bella, the more that I can get her to do things for me in a natural sense, okay? Come. Good girl, is basically what I want. So if I can send her on a little bit of a fetch. Now, if you notice, I didn't say back or I didn't say fetch, okay? Because we will later on the fetching part, but I won't say back as a simple back cast because she's just a pet. She's not a hunting dog. She's just going to be a pet. So there's no reason for me to go into, a bunch of detail and try to integrate that back command or as a simple back cast. So what I'm just doing is getting her used to going away from me and coming back to me as a come. That's all I'm wanting right now, okay? And again, I can use natural occurrences. So if she would get into a position and to sit down, excuse me, if she would sit in a natural situation, then I would use that to my advantage and say sit. That way she would automatically teach herself what that position looks like or what that command looks like, and then give herself that, okay? Give herself that command and understanding what that looks like, okay? So now as Luke got her distracted right there, come. Good girl. All right here, ready? Now see, like that, I can say fetch. Okay, and because I got the check cord, I can say come. Good girl, Bella, good girl. So that's what that looks like, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It's a natural occurrence. As far as going away from you, you could do an easy fetch, put that command in there. Bella's got a lot of fetch drive. She's got a lot of retrieving drive. She's a phenomenal little puppy. We have a lot of fun with her. But spending time with her, getting her used to this, and then what it does is it teaches her, in a sense, but this check cord, and we went over this in a previous video, but I'm going to show you guys again, just in case some of you are not watching every video, might be skipping around, so I want to cover this again. But this is what I do. This is tied to my belt, okay? Not my belt loop, my belt, okay? Because if you get a big dog and you tie it to your belt loop, they'll rip that belt loop right off your pants, okay? Or your skirt, whatever, if you're wearing a jean skirt, whatever. They'll anything you got with the belt loop, they'll rip that thing right off there in a heartbeat. Not necessarily a puppy, but you get a bigger dog or a bigger puppy, 10-month-old dog, without a doubt they'll rip that right off there. Especially because they'll get distracted or something will happen. They'll take off running. You're not prepared, and boom, and now you got yourself one belt loop less. So I always tie mine around my belt. So that's what that is. That's a slip knot, okay? Now, and you can watch the previous video on this, how I do tie the slip knot around this, and you can see how that's done and how it will tighten this up. So what it does is, if the dog does take off on me or tries to bolt away from me, I could back up that command and not letting them run off, and I could say come. But this is like a buffer zone right here. It's like a 14-inch buffer zone, so it slides into me and tightens up to me versus hurting the dog on that side. So if the dog would run, instead of yanking on the collar, which I don't like to do, and try to prevent that as much as possible while I maintain control of my dog, I don't like that. So with the buffer being on my side like this, and I can make it as long as I want, okay? And as this knot slides down towards me, I know I'm running out of room. So that means I need to move faster and get closer to my dog quicker. If that makes any sense, okay? So the dog's away from me. I can say, Bella, come. Excuse me, I'm having trouble with my voice this morning. Bella, come. Now watch how we do this. Come. Good. Good girl. That's a good girl. Now, one thing I have learned through the experience of training dogs, it's like us as humans, you're kind of playing the hot, warm, cold game. I don't know if any of you have ever played that. I'm sure many of you have, where you say, okay, we got something to find in the room. We hit it in the room, okay? And we hit this, whatever it is in the room, and we're gonna give you clues as to where it's at. Luke, step out of her zone, so she's not jumping me. There you go, Bella. And so as the closer you get to the item, they say warm. You step away from the item. It's cold. you get super close to the item, you're hot and hotter and hottest, you know, stuff, the good old kids game, right? Well, it's the same scenario here, is the closer the dog gets to you, or let me rephrase that. The closer the dog gets to doing what you want them to do, like in this situation, it's gonna be come, okay? I'm gonna praise them every time they go the right direction. In this situation, I didn't even have to say it, ready? Fetch. So see how it's easy to just throw that command in there, okay? Okay, come. Step out of her zone, step out of her zone. Come, Bella, Bella, come. That's a good girl, that's a good girl. So every time she turns her face and she walks my direction, I'm gonna praise her for that, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully I didn't lose you guys on that, okay? Lukey, you gotta step out of her zone, son. You're gonna have her pulling too hard and I don't want that, okay? You gotta stay out of her bubble, her little zone here. Bella, come. That's a good girl. Good girl, that's a good girl. So you guys can see how we're building on that already. From the beginning of the video, you know, she was hesitant, even with Luke distracting her. Luke is her buddy. And for me to recall her like that and recall her off of Luke, stay out of her bubble. There you go. Now see what this does is it teaches her to respect. It teaches her to respect that leash, okay? She'll feel that on her neck and she'll feel that. So she'll learn to respect that, okay? The more time she spends on the leash like this, the more respect she'll get for it. And then it's less likely she'll pull, all right? Because she learns that, oh, I can't go that far, I can't go that far. The reason dogs pull is because they're excited to get to the next spot and keep, you know, using their nose, and their nose keeps leading them and so forth and so on. So you have to restrain that. So when they learn as a puppy like this, I'm limited to where I can go. The more time they get to that and they learn that, oh, I feel pressure coming on my collar, they learn to stop, okay? That's why in many cases, we have to prefer to the prong collar or the pinch collar, as some would call it, because they haven't learned that pressure means to slow down or to stop when it's on the collar. They keep pulling. So the pressure from the pinch collar or the prong collar applies that, and then they learn that. And then eventually you take the pinch collar off and they're fine, right? And I was just talking to someone today about that very thing. I was training their dog. The dog was a puller. We put it on the prong collar, worked the dog on the prong collar. They've taken over the same ideas with the prong collar, and now the dog is not quite perfect on the collar, but boys, he's super close. Okay, so I could throw that back and just do a regular back cast if I wanted to, or just a regular fetch. Come. Now you see how if she goes over here, good girl. Okay, now we got, like I said, we got to be very careful with the young puppy. We don't correct them too much. If she swings out over here on this side, wait and see what she does. You see at that last little instance there, she came back to me again, okay? So if we're not careful, we'll correct the dog too much, and we'll be like, she's coming the right direction. She might veer off just a little bit, but then we'll correct her too quickly, and then that will be something negative to her. And then what ends up doing to the puppy is it ends up confusing them, okay? And that's what we don't want. We don't want to confuse the dog. So that's why we start with something like this little exercise that we can do as long as she'll let me, okay? I will go as long, a lot of people say, only train your dog for 5 minutes or 10 minutes at a time. You know what? That's not necessarily true. If your dog can train for 5 minutes, then use up all 5 minutes. But if your dog can train for 30 minutes, train for 30 minutes, okay? But here's the key right here. You want to start on a good note and end on a good note, okay? Don't go until your dog is completely drained out and it can't go no more, okay? That's why you've got to decide where that spot is, okay? But if your dog will let you train for 30 minutes because they have that drive, then why not, right? So the way I tell is like how much interest she has left in me, how much interest she has in me, and how much energy she has, is I will watch her body language, okay? So if I throw that out there like that, okay, and every time before she goes out there and gets it like that and comes right back, guess what? I know I've got a good situation. This is what I was wanting to do right here. No, she's gonna come all the way back. Okay, never mind. If she would come back over here, well, that's why I've got the check cord, because I can pull her back to me, okay? But now, see how she's coming back here and she's laying down, all right? Well, before she would run out, come back, and she would play around a little bit more. So as she's coming back and laying down, she's telling me, she's like, you know what? I'm getting tired. So I can go one more time, send it way, way out there. That's farther than my check cord is. So I'm gonna walk up to her. Come. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl, Bella. And I'm done. Now, watch this. Bella, excellent job. Excellent job. Excellent job. Good girl. Excellent. Excellent. See how her tongue's hanging out, licking all over the place, okay? She's accepted my praise and she's done. That's how we would end our training session, okay? Now, we've been out here for 15, 16, 17 minutes with her. Okay, that's a 13-week-old puppy, and I'm just recording with you. And see, she's laying at my feet, okay? So right now is a good time for her body language. Now, could I train her about another 5 minutes? I bet I could, but why? I don't want to push her, okay? Don't push her too hard, right? So I got 15 minutes. Now, most people are going to tell you, you can only do a 5-minute session with a 13-week-old puppy. Well, we just went over 15 minutes, probably closer to 20 minutes because we were working with her before I turned the camera on. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. You guys, I've got a lot more videos coming of Bella. I've got videos coming of other older dogs that we've got that we're boarding and training. So let's see, who we got? We got Shiloh that we've already got posted. There's some other dogs that we got coming in. And then of course, next week we got more dogs coming in for more training. And then you guys can stay with us and see how Miss Bella grows and how she progresses, and all the training that we've done, all the sound training we've done, all the acclimation to everything else that we've done, and then getting her outside and working her on the leash and so forth. And I'm hoping next week, I believe, is going to be very, 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 very warm. And so I think I'm going to take advantage of that and send the dogs. Actually, well, I'm not going to send them. We'll take them, myself and the dogs. We will take them down to the lake and let them swim. So we will introduce Bella at that time. I will have probably Bruno with me and probably have Shiloh with me. And I'm not sure who else we'll have at that time, but we'll just take whoever we have one at a time or two at a time, take them down there and let you guys see that. So stick with us. We got a lot of content coming at you. And again, please subscribe if you not have subscribed. If you're watching this channel right now or this video and you're on this channel, please subscribe. It's going to help me out. It will help grow the channel, number one. It helps me out tremendously. Doesn't hurt you a bit at all. You just got to click the button, hit the bell. You'll get notification when I put new content out so you can see all that. And then share it with people that you know, okay? I was having a conversation with a family actually early this morning, and the conversation went such as this. You know, with the economy being as rough as it is, and tight, and that, you know, there's conversation going on about recession and so forth and et cetera, you know, it's a place that we can, you know, retain some cost, or even you know, completely eliminate some cost, and that's in our training. Okay, we don't want our dogs to suffer. Okay, we don't want our dogs to lack intelligence or to lack the abilities that they should have as an older dog, right? Well, many of us would have spent several hours and several hundreds, if not thousands of dollars training our dogs. You know, with the economy being super good and so forth, we would already spent that money to have our dogs trained like they need to be, because we don't know how to train them, right? In this scenario, we can save that money, eliminate that cost, because what I'm doing in essence is I'm giving you the training for your puppy for free. All you have to do is do the work, okay? Which I understand some of us don't have the time, some of us don't have the know-how. So the time, that's in your world. That's how you set your priorities. As far as the know-how, that's why I'm here, so I can help you guys learn how to train your dogs. Is my method perfect? Probably not. Is it the only ideal way to train your dog? No. Does my method work? Yes. It's natural for the dogs to train this way. Okay, so we have fun with our dogs. We build relationships with our dogs. We have fun with our dogs. At the end of the day, we're training our dogs. And truth be told, you're actually disciplining yourself, because you have to learn to discipline yourself to be able to train a dog, because it's consistency, it's discipline. You have to discipline yourself to get on a schedule, get your dog on the schedule, and so forth and so on. So it's a great thing. It really is, and it's fun. So that's why I asked, spread the word, spread the videos, share them to your Facebook feeds and your timelines. Just all you got to do is hit share, and then go to your Facebook page. Actually, if you're doing it on a smartphone, you hit share, and then it says copy the link. You copy the link, you take it to your Facebook page, share it, and just say, hey, everybody watch it, and share it again. So it's all good, right? So again, I appreciate everybody. Thanks for being with us today, and stay tuned for more training videos.